But today, we should be able to prove the case for or against the mushroom, the sacred mushroom.
Hey, Big Ben here, and welcome to the first episode of Hollywood Bullshit 101. And Hollywood Bullshit 101 is basically just me talking about all the stuff that I know now that I wish I knew then. And today's episode, we're going to talk about screenwriting and structure, which is something that really throws a lot of people off. So anyway, so I guess you're trying to break into Hollywood. Now, first thing I want to tell you is this is this series is for people that want to break into Hollywood, not independent filmmakers. You want to be an independent filmmaker, man. That I would suggest stay away from Hollywood. Stay away from things like story structure and all of that. Do stuff that's completely original, that's unique, that we have never seen before. And let Hollywood find you. But if you're trying to break into Hollywood and you're kind of like me when I was trying to break into Hollywood, you're sitting at home and you're thinking, look at this utter crap that these people put out in Hollywood. I could basically eat ink and paper and shit a better script than these people out here. And you have an idea of a fantastic movie in your brain that you know if you were to come out to Hollywood and they would make this movie, it would be a smash hit. It would be a critical success. It would be a box office hit. All the fans would love it. Chicks would want to fuck you and you would get an Oscar at the end of the year. But you just got to get this thing on paper, get it out to Hollywood, and then all the stardom will come to you. Well, therein lies the problem, because now you have to translate this fantastic movie that you have in your brain, put it on paper, get it out here to these cats out here so they could read it and they can see your vision. And this is where people fail, because they don't know how to translate what they have in their mind onto paper so that when people read it, they can see what's in your mind. Now, a lot of that comes from structure, and a lot of that problem comes from being able to write a properly structured screenplay that, the readers will look at and say, okay, wow, man, let me pass this up. So you got to remember now, if you're able to get a screenplay to a producer, to a studio, you're not getting it to the big shot first. You're getting it down to some script person, and their job is to read a bunch of scripts. And they got like 10 scripts to read this weekend, and yours is one of them. And they're looking for an excuse to pass. So you put the script in, and they're like, boom, man, this thing isn't even properly structured. They're not even going to get past page 10. They're going to toss that bad boy. So what I want to do, and this is kind of like a different approach. Like some of you may have gone to film school, you may have, read books by Sid Field that talk about structure. But what I want to talk about is ingraining structure into your creative muscle memory, if you will. Like when we write, we're not thinking about structure. All we're thinking about is telling a story. The structure happens all by itself. And that's what you want to do. You want to be able to write and not think about structure. You want to be able to write and tell your story and not worry, is this thing structured properly? Am I structured? Are my act breaks? On the right page, it says by page 30, I should be into the second act and all that bullshit. So with this simple exercise, what it's going to do is it's going to get past all of this theory. The best way to learn is by doing it. So if you're familiar with a film called Finding Forrester with Sean Connery, and he was the writer and he taught the young writer, he gave the young writer some of his words to get him to find his own words. Oh, you're the man now, dog. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to go online. I want you to find a script. I want you to think of a movie that you love, that you think is perfect, that is a story that you think is written perfectly, that is reflective of your style, the type of filmmaker you want to be, the type of films that you make. I want you to get that script. I want you to download it or buy it. I prefer if you buy it. I like to support the people in the industry, my fellow writers. But anyway, take that script, download it, and then I want you to retype the entire script. Now don't cut and paste it and and put it into your final draft, or if you're not using Final Draft or using some other screenwriting program. Fuck you! Causing trouble. But anyway, I want you to retype the entire screenplay from start to finish. After you've gotten it retyped, then I want you to get into your screenplay now and then start making changes. And this is the important thing that I want you to do, is to make sure that the page count always stays the same. That is the most important aspect of this exercise. Making sure that that page count stays the same. You don't go one page over or one page behind. So the first thing that you could do is go change the name of the characters. Go into your revision mode. Make sure all your revisions are a different color. Change the name of the characters. Maybe change the gender, or backstory, whatever. But that's the first change. Change your characters' names. After you change the characters' names and their gender, then the next thing you do is you go in there and you change all of your locations. Now this is going to cause a big ripple effect through the entire screenplay, because what it's going to do now, like say for instance, you were using Ocean's 11, and it's a casino heist, and you change it from say, oh, they're not going to break into a casino to steal a bunch of money. They're going to break into a haunted house to steal a mystical medallion or something like that. Make those changes. Now you got to go through your screenplay and you have to start readjusting all of your narrative and all your stage direction to reflect that change you make. Making sure that you maintain the same page count. Of course, now you also have to make changes to your character motivation, what they're doing, why they're doing it. You have to make things fit within that structure. So then you go back in and you make change after change after change, maintaining the page count until there's nothing left of the original script. And what you're doing by doing that is you're writing, you're not thinking about structure because the structure is all there. So at the end of that exercise, the only thing left of the original script should be the structure. And if you did a good enough job, then not only will you have, helped to ingrain structure into your muscle memory, what you also might have done is actually, come up with a marketable, sellable screenplay too. Depends on how much, you've made it different from the original script. So I would say do that with maybe 2, 3, 4 different screenplays. Do that exercise. Mix it up. Have fun with it. The thing is that I want you writing. And a lot of times what happens is that people get so caught up in learning how to write that it gets in the way of them actually finishing their scripts. And they'll sit there and they'll be working on scripts for years. And there's no reason that you should do that. You should be writing. So the idea ultimately at the end of the day is you want to get structure, thinking about structure out of your mind. You want structure to just happen naturally so you can reach what I call the flow state of mind, which will be another video. And once you're writing with that flow state, then you're writing, baby. So anyway, give that a try. It sounds simple. I mean, it has its challenges, and just do that, see how that works for you. And I'll be back with another video to talk about some more tips on writing, pitching, navigating the tricky roads of the business. And yeah, if you have any questions, just post them down below. Be sure to subscribe to Interface channel, and let me know what you think. Like and share it, and make sure you check out Interface Comics on our Patreon site, and support and download your copy. And anyway, Ben out, and I'll talk with you guys later.